man up, it's game time. Everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, Varsity man up, it's game time. Everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. I said it's game time, so it's time to score.
Hello everyone, this is Justin Rodriguez with this week's Varsity 845 football show. As always, we have a great video lined up for you. For my feature this week, I headed to Cornwall to try to cover talented wide receiver Joe O'Rourke. Cornwall quarterback Mike White threw the passes to Joe. I'll give you a little preview of how it went down. After this segment, I may have to change my name from J-Rod to Toast. We also talked to Chester running back Saxon Smith, who had one of the biggest games in state history against Livingston Manor Roscoe last week. Where do we start? With last week's Game of the Week. Wallkill at Cornwall in a Section 9 Class A showdown. Something had to give. Wallkill upset Cornwall 7-6 last season and 24-22 for the Class A title. Playing in the mud and rain last Friday, this was another classic, even with all the fumbles. Due to the conditions, Wallkill fumbled 7 times, losing 3 of them. Cornwall fumbled 4 times, giving up the ball twice. But it all came down to this. Wallkill Junior kicker Matt Arlano hit a 31-yard field goal 14 seconds into the fourth quarter to give the Panthers a 10-7 win. Arlano, now known by teammates as Matty Ice, just started kicking 3 months ago. He talked about the big kick against Cornwall after the game.
It feels great my first year, especially against a team we've been battling like this with for years. And we knew it was a big game coming in, we knew it was going to be a tough one, and to step up like that, it means a lot.
Wallkill has now beaten Cornwall 3 times in a row by a combined 6 points. In each game, the Panthers entered as the underdog. Gritty Wallkill quarterback Eric Wellman talked about another hard-fought win over rival Cornwall.
It's amazing. It's fantastic. You know, we squeezed it out a little bit. It was getting close at the end, but a win's a win. Wallkill
Cornwall was the game of the week. The performance of the week? Hands down, that belongs to Chester Saxon Smith. Smith rushed for 469 yards on 26 carries, including 324 yards in the second half in Chester's 49-34 Class D win over Livingston Manor Roscoe. His rushing total was just shy of the Section 9 record of 485 set by Nick Finger of Millbrook in 2008. It also places Smith third all-time in state history with Dale Ross of Syracuse West Hill. He holds the record of 569 yards in 2007. We caught up with Smith this week for 5 questions about his big performance. What do you remember most about your performance?
I remember going to the locker room and talking to Coach, and Coach was very upset with the performance in the first half, and I had to step my game up, and I showed it with my team. My team showed their blocking, and we pulled through.
What type of reaction have you gotten from some of your classmates? I know a lot of players in Section 9 are talking about it. You're like a little bit of a celebrity now.
Yeah, a lot of the kids in school call me number 7 for 7 touchdowns, and it's a little joke now, so yeah.
Who's your favorite running back? Who's a player you like to watch?
Dan Thomason, that's my favorite.
What do you do for an encore? What happens next week? 8 touchdowns, 500 yards? What happens next?
I really don't look to like touchdowns, just to win the game. That's all. That's my goal. Okay. I try my best, and as many touchdowns it'll be good for me to get touchdowns. So.
Any advice for Fallsburg this week, who are gonna not try to stop you but hopefully contain you?
Don't take me lightly. I'm a small kid and I run hard. Okay,
now it's time for this week's feature. I'm always looking to get out on the field, literally. Last year I kicked field goals with Wallkill kicker Pat Toole on the show. I even barely hit one from 30 yards out. This year I upped the ante. Cornwall quarterback Mike White was in the pocket throwing passes to O'Rourke. Check it out. Oh! I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was burnt. Oh, jeez. That was terrible. Yeah, that was ugly, but it was also a lot of fun. Here's what White and O'Rourke had to say about my performance after lighting me up. Well, last year I kicked some field goals with Pat Toole at Wallkill. I just barely hit a 30-yarder. Let's just say this was a lot more difficult. Being honest, how did I do? It was pretty ugly, I have to admit.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought you'd be worse than that.
Well, is that a compliment?
Yeah.
Mike, I mean, if I was playing defensive back against you every week, I think you'd pass for about 700 yards. What did you think of the old D-back out there trying to mark Joe?
Like he said, I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but he did fairly well.
Mike, Joe, thanks for having me. Next time I'm going pick 6 on you. With that, this is Justin Rodriguez signing off for the Varsity 845 football show.
It's game time, everybody stand up from my town to yours. We ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, Varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up from my town to yours. We ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war.
I said it's game time, so it's time to score. If you're not playing,